We brought the cheapest Mitsubishi Evo 10 on the internet, and I'm telling you, it came with its fair share of problems. However, we've kept it a secret for over a year up until now. Right, we're here. So I am at my Mitsubishi EvoX. This is a FQ300 with an SSD gearbox. Now, I had one of these before and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I know as proud British, we love our manual gearboxes. However, I prefer this. I absolutely love the SSD gearbox in this. It absolutely runs really nicely. So 290 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. When new, this was around £31,000 to buy. Now on the second-hand market, depending on condition, you can pick one up between 7.5 to about 14,000. If it's modded, maybe more. And I got this for £3,000. Damn! Now, check this out. I know there's some apologising to do because it's not in a Subaru owner's nature, especially how I really sell this name for Subaru in everything I do, to go from a Subaru to a Mitsubishi Evo. However, and I'm really sorry to say, this 2011 Mitsubishi Evo X is everything that I've always tried to do to my Subarus. I'm sorry, it is. I know it's a newer car. The Subaru was probably 2003, 2005, this is 2011. So a lot more engineering, a lot more intelligence manufacturing has gone into it. But even without the AYC pump in my old Evo, this was everything. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was rapid. I just couldn't afford to keep it until now. So let's go through the good things about it first. This Evo retails for around about £14,000. So I've got some scope to spend on this Evo. Like, literally I only got it for £3 grand. And let me tell you something, I didn't even have to tow it back. I drove it back. In fact, I drove it back 4 hours and it made the journey home without issues. So this is it. This is it. It drives, it runs and it drives. Overall, the condition is not that bad. Like, literally, you would have thought that for £3,000, everything would be falling off, nothing will be working, but it seems okay. There are a few scratches around it that needs to be addressed, but other than that, a bit of rubbing compound, wet, flat and polish, it should be looking all right. I absolutely love the style of the Evo. It's wide, it's in your face, and you know, I know a lot of people say these aren't a real Evo. A lot of Evo owners will say the real Evo. Well, I haven't brought it to please you, I brought it to please me because I like it. I've driven some of the old Evos and they're good for what they are. I just like this one. So another good thing about this Evo is that a single map, and I know I've been speaking to people like Simon Norris, etc., who, if you've seen his Evo on Time Attack. So basically, I know with a single map, 3-port boost solenoid, decap pipe and an induction kit, you can probably get this close to 360, 370. And if it's anything like my other Evo, my lord, that was cool. That was so good. Now it's time to tell you how I got this Evo for £3,000. Now the thing about these Evos is that they're not like Subarus. There are plenty of parts on Facebook Marketplace for the Subaru, every model of Subaru, and there's so many breakers all around. They're so accessible, loads of them were made, and everything I could just go and buy for that. This is not the case for this Evo. The Evo is it's the last Evo that was ever made. Some people will argue, but this is the last Evo that was ever made. So therefore, there's not going to be many parts around, and there's not many people who touch these Evos, especially with the SST gearboxes, which are problematic, which we're going to go on to now. So the reason why I got onto this Evo so cheap was because there was a few things wrong with it. One of which is the SST box. Now, the problem with this SST box, it only selects 1, 3 and 5 gears. Uh-oh. Yes, I drove it home with only 1, 3 and 5 gears for 4 hours. I did. Honestly, no word of a lie. But, you know, it drove, and that's all I can say about that. The cost to repair that SST gearbox is not cheap. We're talking a good few £1,000s just to get the gearbox out, assessment, and anything else that it needs. That's not including the part. Now, what I gather is the pitchfork in the gearbox that selects all the even gears, 4th gear, has gone. There's loads of information about it online. Some people do reinforced replacements. Some people weld the one back on. I don't know fully how it works. All I know, it is not a cheap job. Secondly, staying on the subject of the gearbox. Now, the problem is you hear a rattle, and this is where I got it, why I got it so cheap, because my old Evo did the same thing. Rattle, 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 rattle. To anyone else, you would think that the engine is mashed up. However, what I know is it's not the engine, it's the torque damper in the car which keeps knocking within the gearbox. I don't know exactly fully how it works, but it's definitely the torque damper that's causing that rattle, because it only happens when it's neutral. When you rev and drive the car normal, the sound goes away. But when it's neutral, which you can still drive it, but it's not advisable. I think what's happened is the springs within the torque damper have come loose and probably gone into the gearbox, and that's how 4th gear's broken. Again, not cheap. To get a torque damper from Mitsubishi is about £2,500. So if you factor in that cost with the pitchfork costs and labour, and you have to put an obscene amount of gearbox fluid back in the gearbox and then relearn it, you are talking a good few £1,000s. This isn't Subaru level fixing. However, I have an EvoX, and the good thing about it is I can fix this at my leisure. That is the good thing about it. The next thing is, yikes, the AYC pump doesn't work. Yes. So this is talking to Biggie. You got an Evo for £3,000. Biggie, you should have walked away from that sale. Never. Never, 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 never. The AYC pump doesn't work. I don't know whether it can be refurbished, whether it's going to have to be replaced, or whatever. What I do know is I drove my old Evo without an AYC pump, and that was better than the Subaru that I had at the time. I don't care if the AYC pump doesn't work. I'm not that particular. It's not going to break the car. It's not going to break the engine. I know how to drive. I drove it on the track. I drove it everywhere, and it was wonderful. My Subaru doesn't have an AYC pump. Fine. Leave it as it is until something comes along cheap and I can replace it myself. So, there we have it. There are the main issues with this Evo. As you can see, it needs a clean up. There's scratches, the wheels are ditched, they need a refurb, the engine bay is awful. It needs a service. The oil is disgusting. However, I have a 2011 Mitsubishi EvoX, what I've always wanted. I've always wanted my Evo back, and you know, gutting having to sell one of your favourite cars, or one of your cars you've always wanted. So this is it. The only downside is I had wished it had some modifications to it, because buying mods for this isn't cheap either. So I've joined a few Facebook marketplace groups, I've done a lot of research. I'm just gonna look out. Don't need to go anywhere, like you know, it doesn't need to go anywhere, but it's better I invest in this. At least you'll see a return if I ever do need to sell it, but I don't think I will ever sell it because I love it so much, and it's Jap. So what we're going to do today with this Evo, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do today. We're going to take it to the car wash. We're going to get it washed, we're going to get it cleaned. I don't know about the engine bay. I would like to do the engine bay, but I just don't have time at the moment to give it an absolute clean, or the clean that I would like to give it. So we're just going to take it to the car wash for now, and I'll do the engine bay at a later date. Well, the engine bay and the interior at a later date. Right, so first things first, I need to get the battery reconnected to the car. What I do know is I've given the battery a fully charge at home. I've tried to charge it, but it's colossal, it's massive. But I don't know whether the charger I have will give it the sufficient amount of charge it needs. So I'm going to stick it on and see what happens. Even if it starts up, that'd be great. If not, I'm going to have to jump start it. But I don't think I've got a big enough car with a big enough battery to jump start that battery. So everything's relocated in the boot. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the battery on and see what happens and try and get it sorted out. Now we're going to do a Matt Armstrong first key turn. Sorry, I meant we're just going to do a key turn. Right, so it's come up, like the battery's come up. Let's just give it, it's in park. Let's just see if it'll do anything. I don't know if it's tight enough. I don't know if it's tight enough. Let's just see. Oh. Okay. No. Right. It's not doing anything. So plan B. We need to try and jump it off the Scooby. That's all connected now. Let's see if it's gonna work. Yes! Yes! Okay. Right, so we're here. We started it up. Right. So first things first. The engine sounds smooth, you know, it really does. So what we're going to do, we're going to take it to the car wash. And we need to take it to the petrol station to get this tyre pumped up.
It's yours if you bought it. She look good when she rockin'. Long as up, I'ma do your thing. Shawty know she killing the game when she rockin' her. When she rockin' her.
You know, like even just the way it drives, like agile, it's so agile, it's, you know, in the state that it's in at the moment, it's just like, you know, it's just everything that I need. It's like, it's so sensitive to steering wheel, turn it, woof, we'll just go to the left, like no messing around. It's just such a fantastic piece of kit. Like the best £3,000 I've ever spent. Like it's so fantastic. So yeah, oh my gosh. So yeah, with a little bit of TLC and £27 spent, £20 on the car wash and £7 for a pack of batteries, this is where we are now. So fantastic, so fantastic. Right, that's the video. Right, remember, like, share, subscribe. Biggie said, big up yourself if you can't, but be careful. Drive safe on the road. Tell someone that you love them before you go to bed. See you in the next episode. Where we're gonna go with this next, I don't know, but you're gonna find out very, very, very soon. But yeah, I'm just enjoying cruising my £3 Evo. Woo! Later. So people, what do you think about my Mitsubishi EvoX that we got for £3,000? Do you like it? Would you invest in it? Do you know anybody which fixes these SST gearboxes? Are you a mechanic? Do you want to get involved? How much does this car interest you? Leave a message or reach out to us on all social platforms, including TikTok and Instagram, because we need to get this Evo on the road ASAP. Biggie who, Biggie what, Biggie when, BiggieJDM, tell a friend.